right, so my name is Micah Ferguson. I am a communications major, and I'm going to be in the graduating class of 2025. I've been watching Survivor for about 12 seasons now. I've seen a few years. I haven't seen it all, admittedly, but I've seen quite a bit, and it's ever since I saw that first episode, it was just like, boom, for me. I mean, I had to watch all the YouTube videos. I had to watch all the challenge clips. Like, I had to run the brand steel simulators. Like, I was just infatuated with it when I first kind of got into it, which may be one of those things where you're like, well, you haven't seen every season? It's because I studied every season, and I just couldn't watch it all at once, if that makes sense. Like, I fell in love with the concept that I forgot to watch the seasons I haven't seen. I just love the whole dynamic of it. I mean, in the show on CBS, you know, they're on the island. There's literally nothing but them and trying to survive while also playing a tactical $1 million strategic game at the same time. You know, you got that low fuel, you're running out of energy, but you still got to keep your eye on the prize. But in a being stuck on an island phase, you still get the thrill of the strategic game without the just agony of, well, starving, essentially. I don't care what people say, it's the social game. Oh, yeah, I mean, if you're too...
What is the social game?
The social game is the most important part of the game, in my opinion. If you have a good physical game, you may be able to make it somewhat far, but it's the social relations that'll get you to where you need to be. And sure, you need a strategic game at the same time to kind of balance it out, but if you don't have the social game, who cares about your strategic game? They're going to vote you out first anyways, you know? You know, my work background has kind of taught me one thing, and it's to fake it till you make it. You know, you don't have to necessarily like what's going on, but you have to at least give the impression that you like what's going on. And a skill like that's really important in Survivor, because you could be hearing something that you're like, whoa, that's my best ally you're trying to blindside. But you'll be like, yeah, totally. That's perfect. I love that. And then, 5 minutes later, you're texting your best ally like, oh my, you're going home, bro. We got to figure this out. So, well, my work background has definitely, I feel like, helped me in the game, just in the sense of I'll be able to fake it till I make it, hopefully. I was a server for Outback. I worked in carryout for Outback. I worked as a line cook. I mean, I've done everything there, except for like one or two things that wasn't a manager. And so getting that variety of experience is really important to me, because it's kind of, I've gotten a little taste of everything in the sense. Like, I know how to deal with the customers. I know how to make their food. I know how to make them happy. And hopefully everything will go out okay. And that's something that I feel like is also going to be beneficial for me in the game, just because I know how to balance multiple plates at once, literally and figuratively. I can hold one end of the game, and I can hopefully hold the other and keep it all together and just do what I got to do. Okay. So working as a server at Outback Steakhouse, I've learned how to balance multiple plates at once, literally and figuratively. I mean, you have to be able to please the customer while making sure your food's being taken care of, while also making sure that the other tables are being taken care of. And, there's sometimes that there can be a little wrench thrown into there, but even with all that could go wrong, you still find a way to just make it all look seamlessly, even if it's as chaotic as it is in everyday life. I feel like there's two ways that I've gotten the most tips from a customer. It's either being nice or making them feel like they are the most special person in the restaurant. So if you're being nice and you have that real peppy attitude, that cheerful, I will gladly get you what you need, and just you do it seamlessly, you'll get good tips. But in my experience, sometimes if there's a birthday or someone's celebrating an anniversary, if you make them feel like that birthday or that anniversary is the most special thing going on in your life, they will definitely appreciate it and tip you very kindly. So being a server at Outback Steakhouse, one of the biggest things that's big for getting tips that I've learned is making someone feel like they're the most special person in the entire restaurant. And if you do that, they generally reward you pretty kindly. And I want to translate that to the game, because if I make somebody feel like they're the most special person in the game, I feel like I'll be able to get them to do a few more things that would help me than they think they would be able to do. So being a server at Outback Steakhouse, one of the things I've learned is the biggest way to get tips is to treat somebody like they're the most special person in the restaurant. And I want to be able to use that in this game by letting people feel like that they're the most special person to me in the entire game. And then hopefully that'll translate to them doing a little bit more of what I want them to do in the game. Being a server at Outback Steakhouse, one of the things I've learned is that the best way to get tips is to treat somebody like they're the most important person in the room. And I want to be able to do that in the game, because if they feel like they're the most important person in the room, they're going to trust me more than they're going to trust other people. And trust is the most important currency in this game. Yeah, I am a triplet. Me, my younger sister, my younger brother, we were all born on the same day. And it's always been an adventure in life. We've had to learn how to share when we were young. We've never been able to have like that singular birthday kind of factor. But I feel like it's helped shape me into who I am in the sense that I have always had to learn how to work as a group. I've always had to work with my siblings because we went through school together. We went through driver's training together. Like every major milestone in our lives, we've basically done together because we were the same age. And it's definitely just kind of helped me be who I am today. All right, so being a triplet is a really big part of my life because it's one of those things where I've always had to share things. So being a triplet, I've always had to share things with my siblings. I mean, it was birthdays, milestones, getting the driver's license, graduating high school. Everything I've done in my life, I've shared. But playing Survivor without my triplets, I'm going to be able to do this for me. Like, this is the first time that I'm going to be able to take something over for myself and write my own destiny. So, being a triplet, I've always had to share things with my siblings. I either had a birthday I had to share, milestones, graduating high school, getting the driver's license. Like, everything I've done in my life, I've had to share to some extent. Playing Survivor without my siblings, I am going to finally be able to get to play this for myself. I'm not going to have to worry about playing as a part of a team. I'm going to be able to control my own destiny. But the one thing I do have is my social game. Being in the org community, I feel like it will benefit me in the sense that I've been through situations similar to what I might experience in the game. I've been through social dilemmas where I have to pick between my best ally and this new alliance. But I also feel like, to an extent, it's not going to help me because every game's a clean slate. So I'm going to have to come into this approaching with the mindset of how I want to play and figuring it out from there, figuring out my path.